Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a pretty surprising proposal coming from two very high-profile figures, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. They're both considering the possibility of giving every US taxpayer a $5,000 dividend, and no, it's not because of Dogecoin. We're talking about the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, which has reportedly identified wasteful government spending. So, how could this all work? And is this a good idea? We're going to break it down. Before we jump into the details, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Donald Trump, former and current President of the United States, and Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, are no strangers to big ideas and bold proposals. But this time, they're teaming up to give a potential $5,000 dividend to every taxpayer in America, and it's all tied to a government initiative designed to clean up inefficiencies and reduce wasteful spending. Okay, so let's break down what this proposal actually means. According to reports, Trump and Musk are pushing for a $5,000 dividend for every American taxpayer. This money would come from savings identified by the Department of Government Efficiency, which has been tasked with finding wasteful spending in the federal budget. They say they found some significant areas of waste, and the idea is that by trimming the fat, they can reallocate those funds back to taxpayers. Now this might sound a bit out there, so let's talk about how this could actually work. The Department of Government Efficiency would be responsible for conducting audits, identifying inefficiencies in government programs, and cutting out unnecessary expenses. Think about things like redundant projects, outdated tech systems that cost more to maintain than they're worth, or perhaps fraud in government contracts. By eliminating these wastes, the government could free up billions of dollars in savings. And Trump and Musk believe these savings could be used to pay $5,000 to every American taxpayer. So, let's picture this. Imagine receiving a $5,000 check, or direct deposit, because the government found ways to cut down on unnecessary spending. It's a bold plan, but there are a lot of moving pieces here, so let's see if this idea really holds up. Let's start with the pros of this proposal, because honestly, it's pretty exciting. Who wouldn't love an extra $5,000 in their pocket? But beyond just the money, there are some potential benefits here that could be quite impactful. First and foremost, a $5,000 dividend would provide immediate financial relief for millions of Americans. You know, we've all seen how tough times can be. With inflation and the cost of living constantly rising, many families are struggling just to make ends meet. A $5,000 payout could help with bills, paying off debt, or even saving for the future. That's no small amount of money. To put it into perspective, that's roughly the cost of 3 months' worth of rent in a lot of cities. Now think about how this could have helped people during the pandemic. When the government issued stimulus checks, millions of people used that money to survive, buy groceries, and pay rent. A DOGE dividend could provide that same kind of relief, but with a focus on cutting out wasteful government spending to fund it. The idea is that instead of just printing more money, this is about being smarter with the money that's already in the system. One of the key benefits of this proposal is that it incentivizes the government to actually get efficient. I mean, we've all heard stories about how bloated and wasteful government programs can be, from outdated tech systems to redundant bureaucratic processes. There's definitely room for improvement. If DOGE can actually identify these inefficiencies and save money, that could make a huge difference. Imagine the ripple effect. If the government became more streamlined, it could lead to more effective services for citizens. We could see faster processing times for applications, better delivery of services like healthcare or education, and reduced costs in government contracts. And here's the kicker: those savings could be passed directly back to the people. Let's not forget about the economic impact. If Americans suddenly have an extra $5,000 in their pockets, what do you think is going to happen? A lot of that money is going to get spent. Some people might use it to pay down debt, but many will likely use it for consumer goods, boosting businesses, and stimulating local economies. That's the kind of injection into the economy that can create jobs, increase demand for products and services, and help small businesses thrive. It's essentially the government jump-starting the economy by putting money directly into the hands of consumers. Okay, let's slow down a bit and talk about some of the cons of this proposal. As appealing as the idea of a $5,000 check sounds, there are some serious concerns we need to consider. First off, let's talk about inflation. Now, we've seen inflation become a serious issue in recent years. If the government suddenly injects $5,000 per taxpayer into the economy, that's a lot of new money circulating. The big question is, how will that affect prices? More money in the economy means that demand for goods and services could increase, but if supply doesn't keep up, prices could rise. This could end up canceling out the value of that $5,000, which would hurt consumers in the long run. Just look at what happened with the pandemic stimulus checks. While they provided short-term relief, many argue that they played a role in increasing inflation in the years that followed. So, while $5,000 might be great today, we might end up paying for it later with higher prices. Another concern is whether this plan is sustainable in the long term. If DOGE can find savings this year, great. But can they keep doing that year after year? What happens when all the low-hanging fruit is picked? How will the government continue funding these dividends? If the savings dry up, it might mean the government needs to find other ways to fund the program, or worse, start borrowing more money to cover the cost. This could potentially create a budgetary crisis if the program is not managed properly. What happens when the efficiency improvements plateau and the savings just aren't there anymore? Let's not forget that this plan would face significant political challenges. Getting both parties to agree on something like this, especially when it involves giving out money to taxpayers, could be a tough sell. Some might argue that this is just a gimmick to win votes, while others might claim it's an unfair handout. There's also the issue of legal red tape. Even if the plan were to go through Congress, the implementation could take years due to the sheer complexity of government operations. So, is this DOGE dividend idea a good one? It's definitely got potential. If the government can efficiently cut waste and pass the savings to taxpayers, that's a win for everyone. But as with anything, there are significant risks and challenges that come with it. I want to hear from you. Do you think this is a step in the right direction for government reform, or is this just another political stunt? Would you take that $5,000 if it were offered to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it. Thanks for tuning in today, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more updates on this story and others like it. And, as always, stay informed and keep asking the tough questions. See you in the next video.